Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Wednesday the 6th of July 2016. So yesterday the market started off, it was fairly quiet, as you can see from the actual range. In the first half of the session, barely 50 points. If we just measure from the low to the highs, and you'll see there we've just got 58 points in the range. So the market very quiet. Looks like we're going back into a quiet phase, and that's reflected in the implied volatility, which we'll just look at in just a moment. So we had the first trade down, the market hitting the scalp 3 times, then reversing, and then on the opposite side we see the market just coming up and touching the scalp before pulling back, making this one very difficult to get a decent profit on as prices started to roll back. It certainly didn't drive through the scalp line there to give the clue that things were going to continue to have some momentum to the upside. So the market pulling back there, and then it was at this point I sent a note out to say, look, this market's really desperately quiet, and unless things pick up, forget it. And the market then put this reversal in here, came up towards the stop loss, but then continued eventually down to the lows there, and the market heading back down towards the 17,800. So the 18,000 again stopping this market from moving higher. As you've traded the other signals, you've got this one just being taken in the market, reversing, then moving back, and this saw a buy signal then for 20 points when at the end there 28 point loss on the sell signal there, but this was already in progress with this one. If you were holding, you can see there the market coming through, but only just kissing this one for the 20 points there. So unless you actually held that one, which there's no real clue there to actually hold, the market then drove through thereafter. So again, that was the main reason for sending the email out, is it was extremely quiet and things didn't really improve. You can see it's only a 50 point range between these two lines. Very strange day, but Tuesdays, as I've said before, can be quite an odd day because the market sort of takes in all of the news from the weekend, all of the mainstream press and everything, and then sets an opinion on Monday, and then Tuesday there's nothing really for the market to move on. There's no major news. In the daily chart, you can see that the market's topped out once more. We're back below the 76% there, and amazing how again the volume increased from the previous day, and of course the Monday was not Thanksgiving, Independence Day, and there you can see there just the virtual session there, and the market then sideways to lower. In the news today, the big one is going to be the FOMC meeting minutes at 7 p.m. We're not going to get the crude oil figures today. They're a day late when the market is closed on a Monday. So we'll get those tomorrow. So we've got the FOMC meeting minutes tonight. So the market is going to be quiet again during today's session. And it will be interesting to see what Yellen has to say tonight. And I suspect there'll be no move on interest rates. And if there is, it's more likely to be to the downside than the upside. On the implied volatility, 1242, up slightly on Mondays there, as the market then absorbed Tuesday's trading session. The market came back, so a bit more volatility there, but certainly down in those lows yet again. We saw what happened last time we were in these lows. We got a big spike to the downside and to the upside in the implied volatility on the Brexit vote. So we know that these lows in the implied volatility are a precursor to big moves in the underlying market. It's just that we can't specify the date, which is a shame, but we can't. And talking of risks in the market, Deutsche Bank making new record lows yesterday in its share price, and even the IMF says that Deutsche Bank poses greatest risk to global financial system. So interesting times coming here for Deutsche Bank. Keep an eye on this one. It really is a major problem. And as I said in Monday's market alert, once the CEO of any bank comes out and says that they're looking, they don't need any external funding, etc., generally, as Abe Jacobson used to say, don't believe anything until it's officially denied. So again, read into that what you will, but personally I think there's a major problem brewing here in the European banking system. Right, that's it for today. I will let you know if anything changes through the day, but don't forget FOMC meeting this evening, so it's likely that the markets will actually be quiet up until the market releases the information on keeping rates the same, or if they drop them, but they certainly will not be raising rates at this evening's FOMC meeting. Right, see you in tomorrow's. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.